Aslam guys, Ifan back again with another video, and this is a follow-up video of another video that I had done some time back, which showed how to filter data horizontally in Microsoft Excel. Normally, Microsoft Excel does not have built-in support for horizontal filters. What you do is you can filter vertically, but you cannot filter horizontally. And so in the previous video, I had shown you a workaround as to how to filter data horizontally. Now, this is a follow-up video in which I'm going to show you, by the way, at that previous video, we used pivot tables and transpose function to achieve horizontal filtering functionality. In this video, what we are going to do is we are going to be using the filter function in Microsoft Excel to achieve horizontal filtering. So let's get started. So what I have here is the same data sheet that we used in that previous video. In the column A, you've got names of cities in different states. And then over here, you've got the months going across, and maybe these are sales figures or commission figures or whatever. And what we need to be able to do is filter horizontally. So I should be able to choose which months are being displayed and which months are not being displayed. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, this is the original sheet that I had, and like I mentioned previously, we used transpose function and pivot tables. In this case, we'll be using the filter function in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so let's start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this sheet the way it is. I'm just going to insert another sheet here. Okay, and let's call that directly. I'll just show you what I mean by that. Okay, so what we have is I'm going to copy names of the cities. Okay, let's just paste it over here. All right, now what I want to do is I want to enter the month in this cell here. I'm just going to give it a color. Okay, and based on which month I've entered here, down here what you'll see is you'll see data for that particular month. Okay, and like I said, we will be using the filter function in Microsoft Excel to be able to do that. So let's start typing. As you know, when in Excel, as you type the functions, Microsoft suggests what function you might be using. So we are using the filter function. So double click on that. Now it's saying array. So where is this data that you want filtered? Where is this data? So let's go back to the original sheet, and that is basically this amount here. Okay, so it's from the month all the way down to the last cell here, where it's the data for Dallas, Texas in the month of December. Okay, comma. Now, what you want included, but what that means is what is the filter argument? Okay, what you want to filter and how you want to filter. That's what include means. Okay, so what we need what we want is we want these cells to equal whatever is here. All right, comma. If empty, we can just put no result found. All right. Right now it's saying no result found because this is blank. Now, the moment I type Jan here, it is going to grab you the data for Jan. Now, if you see, Jan was 38, 33, 82. Let's check, see if we got the right data. 38, 33, 82, 62, 35, 84, 62, 35, 84. So we are right. So it is able to bring Jan. Okay. Let's put in February here. It brings you the February data. So now what it's doing is it is filtering horizontally. So it's when you put January, it's hiding all these cells. So it is filtering horizontally. Now that is one way to do that. Okay. Now let's try another method. Let's I'm going to add another sheet. Drop down. Okay. And like I had copied and pasted the names of the cities here, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same over here. Yeah. Okay. And this was where we were entering the month. Okay. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a drop down. So you can pick the names of this, the months from this drop down instead of having to type the names of the month here. What you can do is you can just have a drop down here and you can just pick off the names that you want. So we go to data. And by the way, if you go through the video list, there is videos showing you exactly how to create drop downs, but let's just recap it over here. In order to create a drop down, you go to data and data validation. Okay, settings, validation criteria, allow. We say the source is going to be a list. Now this list is basically, I'm just going this names of the months here and click on OK. Now if you see the names of the months coming down here. Okay. Now here again we'll use the filter function just like we did in the previous sheet. Okay. Filter, array, comma, include is equal to comma set not found. Okay, now if we were to pull down say March or April, it's going to give you that result. Okay, so now what we have is we have done this filtering in two different ways. We have entered directly the name of the month, or we have picked up the name of the month from drop down and brings you and shows you only that particular month. Okay, now the next question is, supposing what you want is you want to be able to filter more than one month. Okay, meaning what you have this data here, and instead of just showing 1 month, if you want to say show 2 months and filter everything out, how would you do that? So let's enter another sheet here, and that is, let's call it more than 1 month. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and copy this here. Okay, so just like we did in this case, we have got the name of the cities in this new sheet called more than 1 month, and here what we are going to be doing is we will be filtering by more than 1 month. Okay, now what we will be doing is we will again be using the filter function. Okay, but we need to be able to enter more than 1 month as an argument. Okay, so so let's highlight 12 cells where we would be entering the months. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are your 12 cells. Okay, so what we will be doing is in these 12 cells, we will be entering names of the months that we want filtered. Okay, and they will get populated over here, right? So the way you do that is, again, we start with the filter function, array, that is this guy here, comma, include, okay, is equal to, and I'm just going to close this here and I'll just show you something. Okay, now if I just type 10, we've got the value for 10. Now, if I leave this blank, it gives you an error. And that is why but the way to fix that is either you can use the if error function, or what you could do is, see where it says if empty, you just put in double quotes, then you will not get that. Or you can also do what we did in previous examples, result not found. Okay, so you type February comes. That's again, you'll say we are only doing it 1 month at a time. Now what we could do is we'll go back and adjust this formula. Okay, now this part here is the include part. Okay, till here. So what we're going to do is we are going to have more than one includes, right? And the way you do that is if you want to have months that are, in fact, let me just put, okay. So basically what we're doing here is if we have only 1 month here, if you want to have a second month or third month also in it, you should have all those show up here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to adjust this formula to use an OR function. Okay, so if this range contains this month or this month or this month, for example, if you're doing filters on 3, then bring them down here. Okay, and like I said, the way you do that is this include statement. What you do is you put multiple include statements and you join them together by using a plus sign. Okay, the first what we'll do is we'll put a bracket here and a bracket here. Right, now for ease of use, I'm just going to copy this formula. Okay, highlight and Control C for copy. I'm going to go here, enter plus sign, and I'm just going to paste this formula. And now instead of B2, I will type in C2. Okay, and I'm just going to hit enter here. And what we are going to be doing is, this is what we call a proof of concept. Okay, I have supposedly done it for 2 months. Okay, so let's see if that's working. February and March. Yep, it is working. Okay, so it is working for 2 months. If I put in third month here, obviously it's not going to work because the filter formula only has 2 arguments, 2 includes. So what we need to do is we need to have 12 includes if you want the whole 12 months. Okay, so how will we do that? We just carry the same concept forward and we put a plus sign here. I'm going to go ahead and copy the formula again. Instead of B2, I will have as D2. Now, like I said, let's do a proof of concept. Now, let's see if this works. Maybe it only worked for 2 includes. Let's see if it works for 3 includes. It does. Okay, so this could be, I could have March here. Okay, now because I'm using March twice, obviously it's only going to show them once. Okay, and if I put February here, I see what something very interesting going to happen. It's still going to keep them in the same order that you have over here. Okay, so February was appeared before March and then April. Okay, so it keeps the order. Now if I were to go here and type in June, nothing happens because like we did over here, the filter function only has 3 includes. So let's do all the 12 includes. Okay. So plus sign, copy the formula, instead of B2, what we'll do is we have B2, C2, D2, and so this will be E2. Okay. And then I put another plus sign, paste the formula, and instead of B2 is going to be F2. And then a plus sign, paste the formula, instead of B2 is going to be G2. And this shows up because it's trying to suggest something that starts with a G. So just ignore the drop down, the cheat list that comes up. Plus, paste that. Now this B2 is going to become H2. Okay. And plus formula paste. B2 is going to I2. And plus paste the formula, B2 becomes J2. And plus sign, paste, B2 becomes K2. Plus paste the formula, B2 becomes L2. And after that, we only got one more left. So coming up, the last one, B2 is going to become M2. All right. Now let's see. If I were to put in here May, oh sorry. So February, March, April, May. I could put this anywhere and it would find it and put it in order. Okay. So that's how you can have more than 1 month. Now let's build on this. Instead of having to type name of the months here, let's make them all drop downs. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this sheet, and instead of me punching the names of the months here, I'll make all of them drop downs. Okay. I'll just highlight all of them, go to data, data validation, list, and the source is the name of the months here, and click on OK. Now they're all drop downs. Okay. Now if I were to blank all these out, let's see what happens. No result found. Okay. Now here I can just pick a month, and then here I can just pick in April. For the third one I can pick in July. For the fourth one I can pick in August, and then maybe October. So this is in fact, let me just okay. So what we're doing is we've got more than 1 month, and they're all through drop downs. Okay. Now we've come this far. Let's just do a quick recap. We had the original sheet. By the way, quick plug for the channel. Watch, learn, grow, repeat. Here's the link to the channel. www.watchlearngrowrepeat.com. Please kindly click on either do a subscribe right off this video, or you can even use your browser and type in this URL, and it will take you straight to the subscription site. And I would request that you subscribe to this channel, and also put your comments in the comment section, so I know if what your feedback is. So what we have done here is we've got all these months as drop downs. Okay. Now, supposing what you want to do is, instead of having these drop downs, if you have a list of months here and you have check boxes, okay, and you can just tick any month, any checkbox in front of every month, and have it select the or filter or include that particular month in this filter function here. How to do that? So let's look at that. Okay. Now, okay, so far so good. Let's just do a quick recap. We had done a filtering when we were entering the name of the month directly. Then we did a drop down. Then we did more than 1 month, and then we did more than 1 month drop down. Okay. Now, supposing, just to make it a little more elegant, supposing what you want to do is have a list of months with check boxes in front of each month, and you want to be able to check any month that you want filtered, and if that month is checked, you want that data for that month showing up here. So how would you do that? So let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a sheet here, and we'll call it checkboxes. Okay, and we will copy the name of the series like we have always done. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to create checkboxes. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll create some checkboxes over here. So what we need to do is we will take the name of the months, Control C for copy from here. All right. And what we need to do is paste them here, but instead of them going horizontally, we want the list coming down vertically. So we click on paste, special, values, transpose. Okay. And you see how it, instead of the months going across horizontally, they are coming down vertically. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to create a checkbox here. Okay, let me just make this column a little wider so it will fit. And in order to create a checkbox, I will go into the developer function. Drop menu. And if you don't have this here, let me just quickly show you. I've shown it in the previous video how to get this activated in your Excel. But in case you want to do it right now, so let's just we'll show you very quickly how to do it. Go to File, Options. Okay. Then you go into Customize Ribbon. Make sure the developer is over here. Otherwise, you can bring it from here to here, and it's checked. Okay. And just click on OK, and that's all you need to do. Okay. So we go into the developer, insert checkbox, and we'll go ahead and enter the checkbox. I'm going to make this wider and fit this cell. Okay. Now this way it says checkbox 1. I'm just going to call it January. Okay. Right click, format control. Okay. If you see, go to alt text, that name we just entered is showing up here. Now you'll stay in control, and where it says link cell, click here, and we will select the Q3, right, the cell in the same row, right in front of Jan, and click on OK. Now see what happens is, whenever I click on this checkbox, Q3 would, if it's checked, it will say true. If it's not checked, it will say false. Okay. See how it's, if it's checked, it shows as it's true, and if it's not checked, it shows as false. Okay. Now, if this is false, what we need to do is we put in the if statement. If Q3 is equal to true, then Jan, you take this month name, otherwise blank it out. Click on OK. Now, the moment I check on this checkbox, this will show Jan, right? And what I'll do is I will copy this formula down. Okay. And this can stay there. Now, what we need to do is we need to copy this checkbox and bring it down. Oops. What I'm doing, I'm just copied that cell and I'll just paste it down, and now we'll go and edit each one of them. Okay. So this needs to be February. So right click, format control, go to all text, and we make that February. Okay. And let's just quickly change the names first. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. Now what we also need to do is we need to change the cell that is attached. Now you see how it's clicking one this it. So we go here, format control, control instead of Q3, it is Q4. Now see if I do Jan, only Jan is showing up as true. February. So what we need to do is we need to adjust this for all of them. So this would be Q5. See, this was Q5, and this would be Q6. So what we'll do is we will quickly just go and change the links. So this would be 7. This would be 8. This would be 9. And right click, format control, in control, the link cells is what we are changing. So you can also just clear it out and just click on the cell that you want. Okay, 11. 12. I'm taking the shortcut, I'm just editing the name right there. 13. And this would be Q14. So link to Q14. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and uncheck all these. All right, so right now none of the months are checked, so they're all showing up as false, and this column is showing up as blank. If I were to check any month, say for example if I were to check June, then this would turn to true and you'll have JUN show up here. Okay, so you can have February, December, January. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and uncheck all those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, well, in fact let's do it later on. Let's first put the filter function, and then after that what we're going to do is I'm going to hide this cell and this column and this column here and this column. I don't need to see that. I don't need to have the guy who's be using the spreadsheet be able to see that. All he or she needs to see is these checkboxes, and they can just click on any checkbox and the functionality would work, and the spreadsheet, the data in this sheet here would get filtered accordingly. So let's use the filter function. Okay, is equal to filter array, that is this guy here. Make sure you're including the name of the months here. Okay, so the first cell, the top left cell, the bottom right. Okay, comma, include. What does it need to include? It needs to have this equal this guy here, comma, result not found. Oops. Okay, now if I were to hit January, if I suppose not hit, if I were to check the month of January, it's going to filter that for me. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to put a bracket here like we did for the, for more than 1 month. I'm going to copy this formula, highlight, Control C, and since I'm doing a more than one match, I'll do a plus sign, copy, and this time instead of N3 is going to be N4 because we're moving down. Outside this bracket, plus sign, Control V for paste, N5. You see how it's showing up? It's showing you visually which cells are being affected by this change in the formula. Plus N6 plus N7 plus N8 plus N9. That's outside the bracket, plus sign, Control V for paste, and this is going to be N10. You're almost there. There's 4 more to go. N11. N12. And 13, and then last of all and 14. Okay, now if I were to check Jan, month of Jan shows up. If I were to skip a few months and just check April, April will show up. Maybe I don't skip any, I select May, and then I skip a few, go to September, and then October, and I skip November, and I go to December. Okay, and now, like I said, what I'll do is I will select this cell, hold down the control key, click on the letter P and letter Q to highlight the whole cell, whole column, I'm sorry, right click, hide. Okay, so what it's doing is I've just got this checklist here, and any month that I check will show up here. Okay, if I were to suddenly realize I need a February also, I just check February and it's going to get inside in the middle. March, I can uncheck January, it readjusts automatically. Select July, like this. Now let's select all of them. There you have it. Okay, so now the whole data is showing up. Now, if you want to have few months missing, you just on our show up, you just uncheck the months that you don't want showing up, and it's filtering. So that's how you would filter an Excel sheet horizontally. And so we showed you how to do it when you enter the month directly. Drawback is it's only does 1 month at a time, but it's quick. Okay, you don't need to do a lot of programming or a lot of functions. The other one was drop down. You made it a little fancier. Instead of having to type, you can now have the ability to pick the month from a drop down list. Then we did more than 1 month. Unfortunately, what this makes you do is you have to type in more than 1 month. Then we did more than 1 month drop list. And then the most fancy option was where you have checklists. Okay, so whichever month is checked, you see the original data being filtered accordingly. All right, so that's it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please remember to subscribe and also hit the bell icon so you'll see notifications from YouTube whenever I upload new videos. And if you have any comments about this video, please put them down in the comment section below. Thank you.